Welcome back, guys, to another video. My name is Maku.
Hello guys, it's Kobayashi.
Today we're going to specifically talk about episode 2 of Bleach, the 1,000-year Blood War arc. You want to go ahead and start it off for us, Kobayashi?
So the first scene we see Yu-Hawk talking to the two captured Arankars.
Yeah, and Yu-Hawk was basically kind of like shunning them because if you remember from the previous episode, they were both bickering around and Yu-Hawk didn't actually like that. Want to go ahead and continue it off from there?
The guy who got his arm cut off, he's reporting to Yu-Hawk what happened, basically saying, oh, within 5 days we can infiltrate the Soul Society. And then Yu-Hawk calls him, what, are you some type of prophet? I want to talk about the present, not the future. And then you want to explain what happens next?
Yeah. So basically, like Kobayashi was saying, he was asking him, are you some sort of prophet? Why are you saying stuff that could happen in the future? And he said, no, I'm just saying that's a possibility. And Yu-Hawk said, oh, okay. So he just flicked his finger, and it was like some sort of shockwave. I don't know what it is, but he flicked his finger and ended up killing him off of one shot. And then it pans to the other Arankar that was there, which, by the way, we also don't know this guy's name, which it doesn't really matter because what happened after that was Yu-Hawk was telling him, oh, you actually didn't do anything particularly good, but you didn't do anything bad. I mean, props to you for holding Ichigo down for a few seconds, but, I mean, you kind of just served your purpose. And he, once again, flicked his finger and just killed him again. And then it pans over to
the living world, and we get to see the Squad 11 member that's held up in Ichigo's room. He answers a phone call from the Soul Society. First, he thought it was a phone call to him, but it's actually to all members to the Soul Society. So the message basically says, all of Squad 1 is basically dead, including the lieutenant, but the only one alive is the head captain, Yamamoto. And then everyone by this news is shocked. They're surprised that the lieutenant is dead because the lieutenant is obviously strong. He served under Yamamoto thousands of years. And you want to go ahead and say the stat they said?
Yeah, no, it's actually quite incredible because they ended up killing all of Squad 1 members within like 180 seconds, which is actually crazy. But later we move on to the next scene.
So with this news, Ichigo is quite worried, so he's patrolling the streets of his town, and while he's patrolling, Nell comes falling from the sky. She crashes into Ichigo, and she's sobbing, asking Ichigo for his help. And Ichigo's like, oh, what's happened? What happened, Nell? And then, while Nell was explaining what happened, Peixe as well comes crashing down, but he misses Ichigo and hits the floor. And then basically they all went back to the room, and then Ichigo calls over Chad, Orihime, Uryu, and then Peixe is just telling them how Wakemundo is under trouble because some intruders invaded their domain.
Then out of nowhere, for some reason, Urahara decided to pop up because they were all actually considering going to Wakemundo, except Uryu. Uryu actually didn't want to go, but the rest of them actually did want to go to Wakemundo to see what was going on. And Urahara just popped up at the window and said, oh, I could just take you guys there. And he ended up taking them to Wakemundo. And Urahara actually made a good point. What was it, Kobayashi?
Yeah, so Urahara made a point saying all these infiltrations within the Wakemundo, Soul Society, and the living world aren't by pure coincidence. That it's all connected, and it's probably under
someone, essentially. So they ended up arriving at Wakemundo. They end up falling through a crevice, as they always do. And you see them, like, sort of being enslaved, per se. They're just marching down with a bunch of they don't know who they are yet, but Quincy's. They're just marching down with them. And
basically they killed all the Arankars and Hollows, but they only kept the strong ones, or the strong-willed ones, per se. And they're marching down to like their
doom, essentially, because the Quincy that's there, he's the head honcho of that place, right? So he ended up trying to kill like all of the Arankar that are there, but there was actually 2 that actually survived, or 2 that were putting up a fight. So while he was stabbing them with spears, there was one moment where he ended up stabbing a spear but directly to their chains, and then that's when they went to the attack to the Quincy, which, by the way, I still don't know his name yet. I don't know if they have said it.
I believe his name is Stern Raider J, but I don't know his official name, but he's a Stern Raider and J. By the way, these Quincy's, they give me full-on Nazi vibes because they're just, marching down. They're treating the around cars and hollows like Jews essentially.
Yes.
And then the head honcho that Maku was telling me about, he has like this Hitler cut and this Hitler stash kind of.
Yeah.
Just really Nazi vibes. And then including with like the how they punish the prisoners.
Yeah, on top of all that, I don't know if you guys noticed as well, but it's funny. They're actually Germans as well.
Yeah.
Like their language like fully is German. You can see it whenever they're like doing their like casts or whatever. So it's actually quite a good point that Kobayashi made there. I didn't realize that until now.
And then moving on, we see Ichigo and the gang. They're trying to follow the prisoners, the prison around cars, trying to help them out. But before they reach there, another group arrives before them, and it's a group of Harbel girls, the 3 of them. And then they're trying to fight the head honcho guy. And the Hitler lookalike, he was basically like, wow, this is so easy. Is this what Aizen and Harbel subordinates are like? Wow, they're so weak.
Yeah, basically complaining that he wasn't a leader, couldn't be my leader. That's basically what he was saying the entire time. And it just sort of pans to...
And then to the last scene, Ichigo and Neo, they arrive to the destination where the fight is happening. But once they arrive, the fight is already over. And we see the Hitler lookalike defeat all 3 of the girls.
And he sort of looked bored. I mean, he looked like he didn't even try. But then again, we don't know because we haven't seen what he did, because it just sort of just like cut to it. But usually when that just indicates that he wasn't even trying at all. But this actually just portrays that it's going to show the fight between them 2 in the next episode. So next episode, get ready for the Ichigo versus Hitler lookalike. And that's pretty much what happened in episode 2. If you guys got any anime you would like us to talk about in specific, please let us know. And as always, my name is Maku.
It's Kobayashi.
And thank you.